What's happening, guys? Welcome. I'm giving you a video from Bali today, and I'm going to talk about victor and victim mentality. I'm going to talk about the power of choice because, guys, mindset is the place where it all starts. Without the right mindset, nothing you do matters. It's like literally trying to build a house in quicksand. You're going to work so hard and you don't get very far, and eventually you're going to end up frustrated and you're just going to move on to something else that actually you can do. I'm going to share with you 2 mental shifts that you must make, and with these 2 mental shifts, if you do that, you're going to lead a life of success. You're going to live a life of abundance and fulfillment. So with this, you need to be incredibly honest with yourself, and that's just the biggest thing you have to do. Okay, when you're listening to me today, you need to be honest with yourself and go like, okay, where does this play a part in my life? Because these are some of the most powerful concepts that you can learn in your life right now. But you have to bench your ego. You can't say this doesn't apply to me because it applies to all of us. And these 2 concepts I'm about to share, they're going to change your life. They're the most powerful principles that can create an immediate impact within your business. So the first mental shift is, what I want you to understand is, you must be aware of when you're playing the victim. Okay? You can't be the victor in life until you first have the full awareness of where you're playing the victim, because awareness precedes change. And before you think this doesn't apply to you, I want you to open up your mind of so many ways victimhood slips into our life. If you find yourself making statements or blaming other people or outside things for your current circumstances, that's being the victim. It's like, the market is bad right now, or it's not the right time of the year for what I'm offering, or the leads just won't answer and that's why my business is growing, or my trainer, he took my clients. Anything that makes your circumstances someone else's fault, like they did this to me, that's a victim. You know, focusing on being wronged by someone else, living in the past is something you can't change, and that's the reason my life is like it is right now. Anytime you say, I don't have a choice, I have no choice, I have to do this. Anytime you're basically talking about the drama in your life to other people and looking for sympathy from them, or noticing that when you talk about negative things and people offer ideas or solutions, you shoot them down, and you act defensively when you get feedback, because it's like, when people don't agree with you, it's like, no, it's not like that for me in my life. So this is being a victim. I want you to know this is extremely common, so it's okay. And victim mentality is one of the most, understanding and becoming aware of it is the most empowering things you can do. Because now, like I said before, awareness precedes change. And I spent so many time, creating a couple of things that you can relate to. So you go, okay, this is what it means to me. Okay, now we can move on to the second shift. The second shift is learning how to go from a victim to a victim mentality. And if we understand this, I'm going to give you a couple of shifts you can do. And I got this from, the first thing is Viktor Frankl's A Man's Search for Meaning. It's one of the most powerful books I've ever read. And if you haven't heard of Viktor Frankl, he was a psychiatrist, and he was a Holocaust survivor. And he came up with the understanding of this book whilst in the Holocaust. So as you can imagine, probably one of the most worst things the human race has been through. He began to notice who was able to survive and what they were able to tap into, and the resilience that would make them live despite everything horrifying that was going on around them, and what happened in the concentration camps. He realized that it was the power of choice that was separating those that are able to find strength and go on, and they will find the will to live. So these principles are incredibly powerful when applied into your own life. Okay, the power of choice. The power of choice is the ability to see the big picture, not just the problem you're currently facing, but the big picture, and have basically what gives you the motivation to persevere and be resilient. It is the reason, okay? So when you look at this, it's about seeing the why. It's about seeing the why behind everything that you do. And this is what gives you the motivation to keep moving, guys. So the power of choice comes down to being in control of what you get to choose. And you get to be in control of 2 things: your attitude in life, 2, your perspective. You get to control your attitude, guys. You get to control your emotions. You get to control your perspective of, guys, you might be hungry and it could be 11 a.m. It's like, shit, did you eat last night? Yes. Perspective is, it's okay then, right? Guys, you have to understand is your perspective is screwed up, okay? We need to shift our perspective. Our problems aren't real problems. They aren't going to break us. And guys, anytime something bad happens to you, you get to choose your attitude inside that moment. And when we look at this, it starts to empower us. We can, instead of looking at this problem, something that's going to decrease our state, that's going to start to, this obstacle we hold inside the corner, we can go, okay, this challenge is coming to me. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. And this obstacle is there. And it's an opportunity to me to rise to my true potential. It's an opportunity for me to take the next step in who I need to become. And by pushing through this obstacle, I'm going to gather feedback. By pushing through this obstacle, I'm going to gather new perspective on how to push my business further and faster. And by actually going through this challenge and creating it as an opportunity, I get to become better at marketing, or better at leadership, or better at sales. I look for obstacles in my business. I look for them. I love them. I want them to come in because it creates me to become a better business owner. So for me, I come to obstacles with positivity. I come to obstacles not with negativity, not with frustration, not with stress, but I'm like, cool, this challenge is here for me today because I'm ready to rise to the occasion. And if you can shift your perspective to that, if you can shift your attitude to that, and once you make this shift and understand I'm controlling me, and I'm controlling what I have influence over, and I'm not controlling anything that's the outside perspectives, and I'm going to worry about me and that's it, then that's when you start to become a victor. You move out of being a victim. So when we recap over these things I just talked about today, we want to recap about these two mental shifts. First, realizing that you are playing the victim in some areas of your life. And when you do realize that, and where are you giving away your power? And how can you shift that into a victor? And the second thing is the awareness of shifting from that into that victim mentality, with the power of choice. It's choosing your attitudes, choosing your perspective. And I want you to hold this awareness throughout the rest of the week and, throughout the rest of the month if you can. And in these moments of challenge, these obstacles face you, I want you to be aware of the attitude that you're choosing and the perspective that you're having, because you're only limited by your own desire to create a meaningful change in your life and your business. So hold on to these, move forward, and choose your own way.